Thank you for watching this video. My journey to better health using Mounjaro, Jumpstart a Healthier Me. My name is Jocelyn and I am 46 years old. I have type 2 diabetes. I am overweight as of this morning, which is good. Just got off of being obese. I have an underactive thyroid. I've had this for about 30 years. I do take thyroid replacement hormones. And I also have high cholesterol and was recently prescribed Mounjaro by my endocrinologist at 5 milligram dosage. I'm going to share with you all my journey as I start Mounjaro. In this video, I'm going to share with you my plan on how I'm using Mounjaro to start my healthier self. So there has been plenty of information on the internet that talks about how people gain the weight back using Mounjaro. I have that fear, and I can see the frenzy that goes on when looking at videos or if I'm in a Facebook group that people have about the drug. And, you know, I have that fear too. I've lost some weight. I am almost down to, I'm actually think I'm almost right at my lowest weight, which is good. But I still got a long way to go and I jumped back up. But at least I didn't jump too far. You know, it was about a 10-pound weight gain, which isn't too bad. So, in addition, there's been plenty of shortages on the medication, technology, glitches where people can't get the discount on the medication or the insurance doesn't cover it anymore. So there's a lot of things that people have to get off of it for whatever reason. And one thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to take this medication and say, well, I don't want to just sit down and do the same thing I'm doing before. I want to go back to making healthier choices, having a healthier lifestyle. Because my hope is not to be on this. Now, could it be something? I've been hearing that this is considered possibly a lifelong drug. I don't know. I'm not going to, if it requires me to be on it lifelong, I don't know, right? So there hasn't been a lot of studies. I think 20 years maybe. Don't what is it? Don't count me on that. You know, that numbers could be wrong. So we don't have anything where something's been on for 30, 40, 50 years or something like that. But other medications are like that too. So it's okay. So let's talk about what I'm going to do to jumpstart it. Because if we don't make any lifestyle changes and we keep doing the stuff that we did before, we're just going to, it's naturally you're going to gain the weight back. If I keep eating the barbecue and the potato chips and the cookies and the candies and drink all the sodas that I used to do, it's not going to change. I'm going to have those same sort of issues that I had before. All right, so first, let's talk about what I'm going to do. I'm going back to being vegan. Now, I was vegan back in 2017. At the doctor's office, I weighed about 196 pounds when I first started. I was working out. I was working with a dietitian. So that's one thing if you want to. I learned a lot with working with a dietitian. We would meet every week. We would go through my food log. We would talk about different changes. And sometimes it would get frustrating because I remember I made a taco and it was a vegan taco and I had beans and rice and quinoa and all this stuff in it. And it was like I blew my calories. I blew my carbs, all this kind of stuff. And I was like, I just don't get it, you know? So even as knowledgeable as we are, working with a professional like a dietitian made a significant thought. It was like, hey, you know what? Yes, those beans and stuff was really good, but they do have a lot of calories in them. What I ended up having to do is I ate a lot of greens and stuff. I was like, well, I could have, and it was a little frustrating. It's like, well, I can have all the greens I like. I'm from the South, so we love greens. And I learned how to definitely cook more. It was hard, y'all. And it wasn't something that was easy to do. But the numbers were really good. I think I got down to maybe 180 something, maybe 187. It was either 178 or 187. I want to imagine it was probably 187 was the lowest I had. Actually, the lowest weight I was 192 back in 2016. I was working with a personal trainer. So just think about it. If I was working with a personal trainer, the dietitian, working with my endocrinologist, getting on this drug, you know, how really could my body transform itself? And this is things that I am thinking about, reflecting back. I can do this. So what made me stop being vegan? I was going out of the country and we were told that eating a lot of fruits and vegetables were not recommended in this country. It was 9 days and I didn't want to starve and I didn't want to miss out on the cultural experiences of authentic food. Where did I go? It was China. So I ended up just getting off of it and I didn't get back on. And it's been something that's been bothering me, something I have been wanting to do for a really long time. And when I look back at that time, my hemoglobin A1C was a 6.8. That was almost at my ideal range. Just had a little bit more left to go. So I am going slow. It took me about 3 months to really make that transition. And I fall off the wagon every now and then and have some bacon or a piece of meat or something like that. Or it just happened. So it's a process. To do stuff. And actually, when I was looking back, I didn't put this in here. I think it might have been in another video. The highest I weighed was 218 pounds, which I'm like, oh my gosh. And I think I was a little bit fatter than that. And that was back in 2012. I had a lot of things that were going on. My mom was diagnosed with dementia. I was just trying to finish school. I was getting a new career. Moving, it was just a terrible time. And I packed on the pounds, 218. Wow, that's just way, way too much. So, right now, so what I'm doing is I started by looking at two things. I want to get my breakfast bowl ready, and I'll create a video of what I do, which is just all vegan yogurt, some crunch, some nuts, using agave syrup versus sweetener, honey, and some fruit and stuff. It's really good. It's kind of like a hodgepodge of things, flaxseed and chia seeds, all kinds of stuff. So it's really, really good. I have to show you what that is. And I have some tortilla shells that I need to use. So I said, well, let's go ahead and have some tacos. So I bought some stuff to make some tacos, just waiting for the avocados to ripen. Plus I have some food that I need to eat in the refrigerator. And I need to get the avocados to ripen. The second thing is I'm not going to have breaking the seal ruin what's going on. So let's talk about breaking the seal. You're probably familiar with breaking the seal. You're at the club, you're having fun, and you gotta pee. And you say, I'm going to hold it as long as I can because as soon as I pee, I'm going to have to start peeing again. What I found was I tended to do the same thing when I broke the seal with eating. So what would happen was I would eat something and then all of a sudden I'm hungry. And it's like, well, gosh, I wasn't hungry before I broke the seal, before I ate something. So my initial thought for myself was, well, don't eat. And I think that's what a lot of people probably are doing. Don't eat. If you eat, you're going to break the seal. But I know not eating's not good for me. I know it's going to lower my metabolism. And then that's not going to be sustainable if I get off this medication because my body is being told it's full when it's not. And if I go and leave and I start starving myself, it's just going to be like, hey, I'm hungry. And then I'm going to eat everything in sight. So while it would be easier to not eat anything, which I think some people are doing, like I said, I have my own mixture of nuts and stuff that I'm keeping around to nosh on throughout the day. So you can't really see much of it. But I just went to Walmart. I want to tell you guys, I was really surprised about Walmart. I got almost everything I needed at Walmart to start on this vegan thing. Had the chia seeds, had the vegan. Now, the only thing it didn't have was two things. It didn't have this fancy pineapples that's come out. That was just absolutely delicious. But I can eat some regular pineapples. It's fine. And it didn't have vegan Greek yogurt. So those are the only two. It just had coconut milk yogurt. But beyond that, everything else I needed to eat healthy I found at Walmart. The fruits and vegetables aren't as abundant as I'd like them to be. But, I still was able to find some stuff to eat, like some zucchini. You can make some, I think, zucchini peppers and onions for my tacos. And I'm trying to avoid too much of the fake meat and just eat more of kind of the whole grains, the whole fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. But I'm not opposed to it either as well. All right. So this is just a little mixture. Can't see because I eat it all day. It's just like I went there and I grabbed like a mixture of mixed nuts and stuff, and got some walnuts. So I put those, so just a lot kind of stuff. And I just make a little thing and I have my little containers and I have them over the house. So I'm in the kitchen, in my office. I'm going to take one to work. So I don't feel, so if I start to feel hungry, I at least have something to nosh on, to eat on, versus just not eating anything at all. And the other thing that's good is that it's really allowing me to think about food. Like as I'm eating, do I need to eat anymore? So I'm actually eating a lot less, obviously. But one of the things I'm doing is instead of going and getting, like when I went to get sushi the other night, I ended up getting, I normally get like 3 rolls, like one's normal roll, like a spicy tuna, 2 like special rolls, seaweed salad. I said, you know what? Let me get the 1 roll. Let me eat it. Okay. After that, I started eating it. And I was like, well, do I want something else? And I added in something else. And then I stopped. The same thing last night. I ate ribs. And you're like, that girl is not vegan. I know, y'all. But I got to eat what's in the house. This is just a starting off of the journey. So I ate 1 rib. And then I came back. And was like, am I still hungry? Yes, I ate the other rib. Versus sitting down and eating a whole half rack of ribs, which I would normally do. The other thing I'm doing is, so beyond that, I do need to eat a little bit more, 3 meals a day. Something light like a soup or salad. It's not a big old meal, right? You know, just go ahead and start getting into that habit of healthy eating, snacking on good foods. I had a friend, she was thin as a rail. This is like the stuff she would eat all the time. And I would see her, she would eat all the time. But she would have like little meals, like little snacks all day, like fruit and nuts and stuff. And she was from India. And that was just, she's like, you know, that's just how I eat. So definitely need to do that. The third thing I'm going to do is take advantage of food shopping, when I feel full. We all been told, don't shop on an empty stomach. Hey, if you're full, might as well that's the time to go shopping. And I found that I was able to make better choices. I wasn't drawn to, I walked right past the chips and the cookies and stuff. My biggest let's say, accolade or thing that I did was I love Walmart donuts. They're cheap. They taste pretty good. Now, my favorite is Krispy Kreme, but for what I need, I usually just get 3. But I don't even need 3. I don't need 3 donuts. Like, honestly. I got plenty of cookies and stuff. I need to eat the junk in my house. And I really don't need donuts. Honestly. Nothing wrong with having it. If I wanted to have 1 or something like that, I should really go and have 1 at Krispy Kreme, the more quality one, the one that I like better, and really enjoy that 1 donut versus noshing down on. And sometimes they don't have 3, so what do? You get 6, and then they don't have 6, so you get 12. And the next thing you know, you've had 8 donuts in 2 days because they go bad or they start to go stale, and I want them nice and soft, and I just don't need them. And I actually just didn't even want to walk by them. I didn't want them. I didn't walk by them. So I just was like, just don't even get tempted. Just keep on walking by. So I skipped them altogether. The next thing I'm doing is exercising, which I'll admit I'm not doing what I need to do. I'm not doing that well. I did work out. I didn't work out, but I did a lot of walking on Saturday. I went to a festival downtown, so it was about 2 hours of walking then. Then I went to a museum that evening, walked a little bit. But of course, it was walking back and forth from the parking deck. It was down at Atlantic Station, Atlanta, Georgia. And then Sunday, I'll visit like 3 museums. I started about 10, and I think I ended about 3 o'clock. And what was nice was I actually I just went to CVS Pharmacy. Because before I went to the festival, I looked online and said, you're more than welcome to bring your own non-alcoholic drink and your own snacks. And I said, well, gosh, let me just bring some snacks so I don't stop by the funnel cake place, which it smelled so delicious. So I didn't go by the funnel cake place or get a pretzel or anything like that. I had that and had my water. And I had my nut mixture, my trail mix, when I was walking around the museums on Sunday. So again, I wasn't tempted to go and have those other things, and then of course water. I drink water all day. But at the Coca-Cola Museum, they call it the Coke. We call it Coca-Cola Factory. I think it's called the World of Coke. At the end, you can taste all the Cokes you wanted to. So I knew all day. I was like, I'm not going to drink anything because I'm going to have this, I'm going to have a whole guffaw full of Coke and get, sugary high and sick. So, but I haven't gotten to the gym. I was supposed to go last night. I ended up staying an extra hour longer working. I tutor students, and a mom had reached out and said the daughter was really nervous. And so I ended up tutoring for an hour. But I was also really fatigued last night. I talk about in one of the videos that just I've been really tired. Not just like lazy tired. There's like a difference between like, I know when I'm just lazy. I'm like, oh, I'm just lazy. I don't feel like doing nothing. Or versus, man, I just can't get off this couch. I'm just going to go to sleep. And that's what I would just do. I take naps, just lay down and go to sleep. Other thing I'm going to do is check my blood sugar more often. So I'm definitely doing that. I've got to take my medication, y'all. I have got to. It's just, I'm trying. I'm trying. It's been hard. And visit my endocrinologist every 3 months to check back on my progress. Why am I doing this is if we've got something right now, it's like I used to be in education. And remember how the first part of the semester you get started and you get your little calendar out and you get the momentum and you've got everything going and you're like, I'm going to study 5 times a day and I'm going to reach out to the professor. I'm going to go to office hours. I'm going to do all this stuff. That's where we're at right now. And helping us to set things up for success, in my opinion, is going to do, well, and first of all, I should see faster results. And then hopefully those results stay on. There's no reason why I can't lose the weight and be at normal weight and not have to have this drug. There's nothing that's wrong with me that says that that's not a possibility. Now, that's just me in my own opinion. I'm not trying to say that that's everybody or something like that, but I would love to get off all this medication. I get tired taking all this meds. It's not fun. I'm on, what am I on? I take thyroid medication. I take 3 oral diabetic medication. I take the injectable Mounjaro. I also take a statin for my high cholesterol. And then when I get migraines, I have 2 medications for that, besides like just over-the-counter Aleve or Tylenol. I'm just tired of it. I just want to wake up, get out of the day, start my day, and enjoy it, not thinking about, some sort of medication. And I'm not going to talk about the reversal of diabetes because it has been shown. One of the things is a plant-based diet, which has been shown statistically. Read the research. Don't do anything. It's not medical advice or anything like that. Don't stop taking your medication. Don't think that you're going to go vegan and that's going to be it. That may be you, may not be you. But I'm tired of being unhealthy. I'm tired of going to the doctor. And the reason why I started to be vegan in the first place was I went to the doctor and I'm like, I'm so tired. And it's like, well, let's try this medication. I'm like, I don't want to try any more medication. Let me try something else. And when I did it, I felt much more energized. My poops didn't stink. I pooped a lot more. My skin was better. Like everything was just so much better. And I've been wanting to, and not only that, I do have a special place in my heart for, the death of animals for the sake of, from my diet, when I can eat beans and rice and nuts and healthy foods. There's nothing that says I need food. I need meat. Now I know there's some societies that if I live in Alaska, fruits and vegetables ain't gonna grow up there. But that's a whole other aspect of being vegan and stuff. So that is what I'm going to do. in order to set myself up, basically set myself up for success for hopefully when I get off this medication. If I don't, my doctor says I have to be on it, so be it. But let me know, what are some things that you're doing in the same sense so you can set yourself up for success. So if you do come off this meds, or you start to gain a little weight back, you can say, okay, you know what? I know this works. Let me go back to doing this. Yeah, and the comments in the section. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited. Please watch my other videos as I go through this journey. And I look forward to sharing things with you, everybody. All right, take care. Bye-bye.